Hello, and welcome to Your Story, Your Tune. I'm so glad you've joined us tonight. This is a place for real stories from real people. Moments that shaped us, connections that defined us, and the songs that soundtracked it all. Tonight's story is one about friendship. Not the kind that fades with time, but the kind that weathers it. Quietly, stubbornly, beautifully. It's about two lads, endless summers, and the simple truth that some bonds don't break. They just stretch. Tonight's story comes from Liam in Norwich, who wrote to us about the friend who knew him first, and the reunion that reminded him who he'd always been. This is Liam's story. Liam is 42 now. He's been a postman in Norwich for the best part of 2 decades. Early starts, familiar routes, the same faces at the same doors. It's steady work, honest work, and he's never minded it. But back in 1988, when he was 14, the only route that mattered was the one that led from his estate to Finn's house, 3 streets over. Finn was his best mate, had been since primary school. They were inseparable that summer. The kind of inseparable only teenage boys can be, when the world feels massive and yours alone. They spent every day on their bikes, tearing through the narrow lanes around the Norfolk Broads, rucksacks stuffed with crisps and Tizer, maps folded wrong in their pockets. They'd cycle for hours, racing each other down towpaths, pulling up breathless by the water's edge to skip stones and talk about nothing and everything. Finn was the adventurous one, always pushing further, always curious. Liam followed, because with Finn, he felt braver. They shared secrets out there, crushes, fears, stupid jokes that made them double over laughing. They didn't need anyone else. That summer felt endless, like it would never stop being 14, never stop being them. But summers do end, and so, eventually, did the ease of it all. Secondary school pulled them into different crowds. Sixth form took Finn to a different college. Life, as it does, nudged them apart. Not dramatically, not cruelly, just gradually. By the time they were in their 20s, they'd lost touch entirely. Different cities, different lives. Liam sometimes wondered where Finn had ended up, but the wondering became less frequent. Life moved on. For years, Liam carried a small ache about it. Not grief exactly, just a quiet pang whenever something reminded him of those summers. A certain stretch of road, the smell of cut grass, the sight of 2 lads on bikes. He'd think of Finn and feel the loss of something he couldn't quite name. Not the person, because people change, but the version of himself who existed alongside that friendship. The boy who cycled without checking the time, who believed in best mates forever, who didn't yet understand that life scatters people like seeds. Liam got married, had 2 daughters, built a life he was proud of. But occasionally, late at night or on a long postal round, he'd drift back to 1988 and wonder what had happened to Finn. Whether he remembered those summers the same way. Whether he ever thought about Liam at all. Then, 3 months ago, Liam took his daughters to their old primary school's summer fair. It was a warm Saturday, bunting strung between the goalposts, the smell of barbecue and candy floss thick in the air. He was queuing for teas when he heard someone call his name. Not Liam, the way adults say it, but the way Finn used to. Drawn out. Teasing. He turned around, and there he was. Older, greyer, a bit rounder, but unmistakably Finn. They stared at each other for a beat, then both laughed. That slightly embarrassed, disbelieving laugh of people who found something they didn't know they'd been looking for. They shook hands, then hugged, awkwardly, warmly. And within minutes, it was like no time had passed at all. They stood by the bottle tombola for an hour, swapping stories. Finn had moved back to Norfolk 2 years ago, working in IT, divorced, 2 boys of his own. They talked about their kids, their jobs, their parents, and then, inevitably, they talked about the Broads, the bikes, that summer. "Do you remember?" Finn kept saying, and Liam did. He remembered all of it. They met for a pint the following week, then another. It wasn't the same as it had been. They were different people now, with mortgages and responsibilities and the gentle fatigue of middle age. But something essential remained. The ease, the shorthand. The way Finn still made Liam feel a little braver, a little lighter. One evening, after a few beers at a pub by the river, Finn suggested they do it again. Get the bikes out, cycle the old routes. Liam laughed, said they'd probably have heart attacks halfway round. But the following Sunday, they did it anyway. They met at dawn, brought flasks of tea instead of Tizer, and set off down the towpaths they'd raced along 34 years earlier. They didn't talk much this time. Didn't need to. They just cycled, side by side, the morning light soft on the water, the world quiet except for birdsong and the hum of their wheels. And Liam felt something settle in him. That small ache he'd carried for decades. It eased, because he realised the friendship hadn't been lost. It had just been waiting. Finn was still Finn, and Liam, cycling beside him, was still the boy who'd felt invincible on a summer afternoon in 1988. They stopped by the same stretch of water where they used to skip stones. Finn grinned, pulled out his phone and played a song, one they'd listened to endlessly that summer, on a battered cassette player they'd brought on their rides. The opening chords drifted over the Broads, and Liam felt 14 again. Felt the warmth of a friendship that had never really ended, only paused. And he understood, in that moment, that some things, some people, are woven into you so deeply that time can't unpick them. The song played on, and Liam smiled. Some friendships shape us in ways we don't fully understand until we find them again. Liam's story reminds us that the best ones don't need constant tending. They simply endure, waiting for the right moment to come back into focus. And the song that means everything to Liam? It's Perfect by Fairground Attraction. Due to copyright, we can't play it in this video, but it's a song about simple joys and fleeting perfection. Exactly what those summer days were. I will leave a card and a link in the description for you to enjoy Liam's song. If you have a story you'd like to share, we'd love to hear it. Until next time, this has been Your Story, Your Tune.